Did you know that Cheng Yi-sao defeated the British, Portuguese, and Chinese naval forces simultaneously in a war? Yes, you heard that right. Today, let's dive deep into the waters of the South China Sea to uncover the most feared pirate queen in history. Let's explore her journey from the floating brothels of China to becoming the ruthless pirate queen, commanding a fleet of 2,000 ships and 70,000 pirates. Join us on a journey beyond the confines of tradition, where intrigue meets bravery and where one woman dared to challenge empires, rewriting the narrative of piracy forever. Early life of Cheng Yi-sao. Her story begins in southern China, a little more than 200 years ago. Cheng Yi-sao was born around 1775 in the coastal city of Guangzhou, which Europeans also called Canton. At the time, the city was so crowded that it spilled over into the water, where people lived in floating villages. Pretty much anything you could do on land, you could do there, including visiting a brothel. Pirate raids were very common in these neighborhoods, and they often took captives from the village, especially young girls whom they would enslave and force into prostitution. This was how Cheng Yi-sao ended up in floating brothels known as flower boats. Marriage to Cheng Yi, the pirate captain. It was in 1801 that Cheng Yi-sao's fate collided with that of Cheng Yi, a renowned pirate captain. Their union, a daring convergence amidst the tumultuous waters, marked not just a romantic alliance, but the genesis of a legendary partnership that would redefine maritime power. Before her alliance with Cheng Yi-sao endured a harrowing existence. Circumstances thrust her into the flower boats brothels, a world of coercion and exploitation, a fate she courageously transcended. Cheng Yi, the pirate captain, was madly in love with her and wanted her to be his wife. But Cheng Yi-sao put up conditions for marriage. She didn't want to stay on land as a housewife, but wanted to be part of his pirate raids. Cheng agreed to marriage with a couple of specific requirements, the most important of which was that she gain some control over the fleet and a share of its profits. For the next 6 years, Cheng and Cheng managed the Red Flag fleet together. In 1807, tragedy struck as Cheng Yi passed away, leaving Cheng Yi-sao to navigate the uncertain waters of leadership. Seizing control of the Red Flag fleet, she charted a course through uncharted territories with unwavering resolve. Her rise was not just a transfer of authority, but a testament to her unwavering spirit, a transformation from a grieving widow to a legendary figure. Expansion of the fleets. Following Cheng Yi's passing, Cheng Yi-sao faced an unprecedented challenge, steering the Red Flag fleet into uncharted waters without her husband's guidance. Her leadership prowess emerged as she orchestrated an expansion that echoed across the seas. Her brilliance lay not just in the art of command, but in the finesse of diplomacy. Leveraging her strategic alliances, she amalgamated smaller pirate factions into the formidable Red Flag fleet. Under Cheng Yi-sao's calculated direction, the fleet burgeoned multifold, ships from disparate origins converging to swell its ranks, transforming it into a force that eclipsed all prior maritime powers, the Reign of Terror. Between 1807 and 1810, Cheng Yi-sao's reign was characterized by a calculated blend of tactics and unwavering determination, an era that instilled fear in merchants and navies alike. Her strategies were shrewd, her fleet's movements meticulously planned, striking with precision, vanishing into the mist, leaving behind an aura of uncertainty and dread. From the audacious raid on Portuguese vessels in 1811 to the relentless clashes with Qing dynasty forces, each engagement cemented her reputation as a relentless and cunning pirate. Her audacious strategies and surgical assaults painted her legacy on the canvas of maritime warfare, establishing her notoriety as an indomitable force. Between 1812 and 1815, Cheng Yi-sao's influence extended far beyond the battlefield. Her hold on crucial trade routes altered regional economies. With an iron grip on trade routes, she dictated commerce, imposing tolls and demands that reverberated across the seas. The Code of Cheng Yi-sao. Amidst the chaos of piracy, Cheng Yi-sao crafted an unexpectedly structured code, a set of principles that governed her formidable fleet with precision and order. Her code wasn't just a collection of decrees, it was the backbone that upheld disciplina and coherence, a surprising contrast to the perceived lawlessness of piracy. Within her code lay a comprehensive set of rules, a code not merely for enforcement, but a framework that facilitated democratic decision-making. For severe offenses or acts of betrayal, the offender was beheaded, a swift and harsh punishment, sending a clear message of the consequences of disloyalty. Lesser transgressions often resulted in flogging or whipping, a physical punishment administered publicly to shame the offender and maintain order. Stranding a pirate on a deserted island or a remote location was a punishment for serious breaches of the code, isolating the individual from the fleet and leaving them to fend for themselves. Pirates who violated the code or disrupted the harmony of the fleet could be stripped of their shares or rights to the spoils of plunder, serving as both punishment and deterrent. Confinement aboard a ship or in a specific area was a disciplinary measure to isolate troublemakers or enforce compliance with the code. In severe cases, offenders might be banished from the fleet and expelled to face the perils of the sea alone, without the protection and support of the pirate community. But beyond retribution, the fleet operated as a democracy, decisions made collectively, ensuring the cohesion and loyalty of her vast pirate crew. Marriage with adopted son. Following the passing of Cheng in 1807, Cheng Yi-sao assumed leadership of the Red Flag Fleet. During this period, she formed a romantic relationship with Chang Pao, who had been adopted by her husband. Some sources indicate that Cheng Yi-sao married Chang Pao, formalizing their relationship and solidifying his position within the hierarchy of the fleet. Their union, while unconventional by societal standards, was a strategic move that served to maintain stability and authority within the Red Flag Fleet. The marriage solidified Chang Pao's role within the fleet, establishing him as a significant figure and potentially ensuring continued leadership and unity within Cheng Yi-sao's domain. Cheng Yi-sao's strategic alliances. Cheng Yi-sao's strategic alliances with coastal villages were pivotal in sustaining her pirate fleet. Recognizing the importance of information, supplies, and local support, she established mutually beneficial relationships with these communities. Cheng Yi-sao cultivated networks of informants within coastal villages. These individuals provided crucial intelligence about maritime activities, including trade routes, naval movements, and potential targets. In return, she offered protection, ensuring these villages remained shielded from other pirate threats or outside dangers. Coastal villages served as crucial hubs for obtaining provisions, such as food, water, ammunition, and repair materials for the ships. In exchange, she ensured fair compensation. These alliances were not solely transactional. Cheng Yi-sao forged relationships that allowed her to recruit new crew members, offering opportunities for villagers seeking a life beyond their shores. Additionally, she provided support to these communities in times of need, fostering goodwill and loyalty. Cheng Yi-sao established safe havens within these coastal villages. These havens served as temporary bases for her fleet, allowing for repairs, restocking, and respite from naval pursuits. She recognized the symbiotic relationship between her fleet and these coastal communities. By providing protection, support, and fair dealings, she garnered crucial resources while ensuring the prosperity and security of these villages. These alliances not only sustained her fleet, but also contributed to her dominance in the maritime landscape. Clash with empires. Cheng Yi-sao's ascension posed a challenge to the established empires of her time. Her clashes with the Chinese Qing dynasty and encounters with British forces marked pivotal moments in her pursuit of dominance. Her confrontations were not mere skirmishes but bold statements, challenges thrown at the very foundations of established empires, asserting her influence over the South China Sea. The British Empire sought to assert control over the South China Sea, clashing with Cheng Yi-sao's Red Flag Fleet to safeguard their interests in the region. Despite facing a powerful adversary, Cheng Yi-sao employed her tactical brilliance, leveraging her fleet's agility and knowledge of the local waters. Her forces utilized hit-and-run tactics, exploiting the Red Flag Fleet's maneuverability to evade the larger, slower British vessels. These tactics, combined with her fleet's unity and resilience, stymied British efforts to gain a decisive upper hand. Cheng faced off against Portuguese naval forces in intense battles. She adeptly exploited the weaknesses of the Portuguese fleet, employing surprise attacks and leveraging her knowledge of local waters to gain strategic advantages. Her ability to outmaneuver and surprise the Portuguese armada, combined with her fleet's unity and disciplined tactics, posed a formidable challenge. The final blow. In the tumultuous years between 1815 and 1817, a formidable alliance materialized, uniting the naval might of the British, Portuguese, and Chinese empires against Cheng Wanzhao's Red Flag Fleet. This convergence marked a pivotal and challenging moment in her piratical reign. Faced with this overwhelming coalition, Cheng Wanzhao confronted a force vastly superior in numbers and resources. The alliance aimed to obliterate her dominance in the South China Sea, seeking to crush her fleet's influence and suppress her power. Cheng Wanzhao, astutely aware of the impending threat, employed shrewd and evasive tactics. She orchestrated strategic maneuvers, utilizing her fleet's agility and her extensive knowledge of the region's geography to confound and scatter the combined imperial forces. Her fleet navigated treacherous waters, utilizing surprise attacks and quick withdrawals to evade the coalition's attempts to corner them. Despite the collective might of the British, Portuguese, and Chinese forces, Cheng Wanzhao's strategic brilliance, coupled with her fleet's nimbleness, allowed her to evade a decisive defeat. The coalition's failure to engage her fleet in a conclusive battle underscored Cheng Wanzhao's tactical prowess and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Cheng Wanzhao's final negotiations. Recognizing the imminent threats and the challenges posed by the combined forces of the British, Portuguese, and Chinese empires, Cheng Wanzhao adeptly navigated diplomatic channels to ensure the survival and well-being of her fleet members. Her negotiations aimed at securing terms of amnesty and pardon for her fleet members, seeking to spare them from severe repercussions and punitive actions. Additionally, she negotiated for the preservation of acquired wealth and assets amassed by her fleet. Cheng Wanzhao sought to secure terms that would allow her crew members to retain a portion of their plundered wealth, ensuring their livelihoods after the dissolution of the fleet. First, nearly all of her workers, from the pirates who engaged in combat to the farmers who supplied them, were to get off without punishment. Second, the government had to provide money to help the pirates transition to shore life. Third, Cheng would be recognized as the wife of her adopted son, who would be given a key bureaucratic position within the Chinese government. The government caved, and Cheng got every item on her list. At the young age of 35, only 9 years after escaping a brothel in Canton, Cheng was forgiven all her crimes and allowed to keep her ill-gotten fortune. She opened a gambling house and brothel in China and settled into a semi-quiet retirement. Cheng, meanwhile, wanted to keep his life on the seas and got command of 20 government ships in the deal. This was the tale of Cheng Wanzhao, a tapestry woven with audacity and intrigue that echoes through the ages. Hope you enjoyed this video about an unconventional force that defied norms, rewriting the rules of piracy, and terrifying the mightiest empires. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that like button to keep quacking along with us for more enthralling tales from history's cryptic corridors.